Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryechu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Shri Medha Dakshina Murti Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Krishnakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine Krishna Dvaipaya Namvyasam Sarvalokahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Bande Shamadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetranana Padabaho Sahasranamnam Stavanam Prashastam Niruchyate Janma Jaradi Shantyai. Om Namaste once again, everyone. So we were seeing this sloka. Swapana swavasho vyapi naikatma naika karma krite vatsaro vatsalo vatsi nagarbho dhaneshwaraha. And I think we have seen the naika karma krit. Naeka karma krit. There is sound coming. Everybody is on mute, you know. Yeah. Okay, good. So, Naika Karma Krit. So, Ishvara, that is Maya Sahitam Brahman, is the one who performs many actions during creation, sustenance, and dissolution of this Jagat. But at the same time, as Brahman, the Adhishtanam of this Jagat, he is actionless, he is Akarta. So, Na Eka Karma Krit means he does lot of karmas. When he takes up the Maya Upadhi, on his own he is Akarta. That is the meaning of Naika Karma Krita. Now the next nama, Vatsaraha. Vatsaraha means the one in whom everything resides. Vasati atra akhilam iti Vatsaraha. Very easy to understand, nothing much explanation is required. Vasati asmin iti Vatsaraha. The entire universe resides in him because he is the Adhisthana, the foundation of everything in this universe. So he is Vatsaraha. Then Vatsalaha. Vatsalaha means the one who is affectionate. Bhakta snehitvat Vatsalaha. So Bhagavan is Vatsala, affectionate towards his devotees. And the Lord is invoked as mother and father because we want affection. So all that we miss from our parents, we can get from Bhagavan. That is why Jakatav Pitarau one day, it says, Parvati Parameshwarau, Pitarau, right? Pitarau means the parents. So similarly, we equate the Lord to our parents because the kind of affection that we get from our parents, the same kind of affection we get from the Lord also. He is our therapist. So he is invoked as Vatsala, as the one who cares for all of us. And it is because of this care that food is provided, air is provided, water is provided. Everything that we require to lead a life, to live in this earth, everything is provided to us. It is not merely the air, but the oxygen is also provided within that air. And not only for us, that air contains carbon dioxide also, which is required by the plants. All this is what you call care. So when one sees that the whole Jagat is nothing but the manifestation of the Lord's care only, then Bhagavan becomes Vatsala. And we can see this care extending in our body also, where we are provided with more capacity of the organs than generally required rather. There is a standby for many of the organs is provided. Instead of one kidney, there are two kidneys. So even if one kidney fails, a person can survive with just one kidney. We have a pair of eyes, we have a pair of ears. So this care, wherever very, very critical organs, they are all provided because of this care of Ishvara. So the more we understand Ishvara, the more we find that he is the personification of care. He is absolute care, and it is the caring that is manifest. Care is Bhagavan. So we get blessed in the way in which we invoke the Lord. When we invoke him as Vatsala, then we can be rest assured we get cared for. This is the meaning of the word Vatsala. Vatsi. Vatsi means the protector. Vatsanam palanat vatsi. Jagat pituhu tasya vatsambhutah prajahe iti va vatsi. He is Vatsi because all the jivas are his Vatsas, children. Vatsa means children. Whether it is 100-year-old person or a newborn baby, all are his children only. Not only humans, devas are his children, or animals are his children, or plants are his children. Everything that is there in the universe is children only. So from the standpoint of what is timeless, all are his children, and he has so many to care for. That's why he says, Adi Shankara says, Palanat. Because as Vatsala, he cares for the whole Jagat. And that is why he is Vatsi, the protector. Because normally we get a protector cares for us, whoever is the protector, isn't it? And here Bhagavan is the protector, he is the Vatsi. Why? Because he is Vatsala. Then Ratna Garbha. We know the separate Ratna also, we know the meaning, Garbha also we know the meaning. But in the context of Bhagavan, the one who has got valuable gems. Ratnani Garbha Bhutani Asya iti Samudraha Ratna Garbha. So now we just now said that all living beings are being taken care of by Bhagavan. How does he take care? Because to take care, one needs lots of resources. Bhagavan is a wealthy man, and hence he can look after everything. And from where does this wealth come? He has very valuable ratnas or precious gems. That which has ratnas within his garbha, womb, is called Ratna Garbha. The ocean that has got precious gems as well as the earth, they can also be referred to as Ratna Garbha. And with the understanding that we have, we can actually understand that both the ocean and the earth are nothing but manifestations of Bhagavan. So all the valuable gems that we find under the earth or in the ocean, they all belong to Bhagavan, as everything belongs to him alone. He has everything within him to keep the world going, and hence he is Ratna Garbha. Dhaneshwaraha, the Lord of wealth. Dhananam Ishwaraha Dhaneshwaraha, says Adi Shankara. He is the Lord of all forms of wealth. Nobody actually, we all think we own so many things, but nobody owns anything because he has already taken away the ownership from everybody. At the same time, whatever we consider to be our wealth, Bhagavan does not touch the wealth of that wealth, because he does not require it. All that we have is his only. All the accounts that we have are his accounts. Why? Because there is no difference between you and Bhagavan. Even if you want to make a difference, at best you can say that we are all trustees of Bhagavan. Any form of wealth that is here is the manifestation of Bhagavan. And wealth is what? Dhana Lakshmi. So the whole wealth is manifestation of, that is why we do Lakshmi Puja. We don't consider, like in many other cultures and even even within our own culture, many people, they may consider wealth and money as Lakshmi, but they will do what Duryodhana did, what Dhritarashtra did. They will gamble with that Lakshmi. All we have to understand is whatever wealth is there, it has been given to us by Bhagavan, and we should act as trustees of that wealth, put it to right use the wealth for the purpose of helping, doing Bhagavan's work, which is sustenance of this world. Help the poor, feed the hungry. So this is what is the wealth meant for. Of course, even Kubera is also, Kubera has got another name called Dhaneshwara. But we have to understand it is Bhagavan alone who is manifest as Kubera also. So that way Bhagavan is Dhaneshwara, Dhananam Ishwara. Now we'll go to the next stoka. Dharma gup dharma grit dharmi sadasatcharam aksharam avignata sahasramshur vidhata krita lakshana. This sloka has got 11 namas. Dharma gup, dharma grit, dharmi, sat, asat, ksharam, aksharam, avignata, sahasramshuhu, vidhata, krita lakshana. 11 namas. Dharma gup, the one who protects dharma. Dharman gopayati iti dharma gup, says Adi Shankara. Dharman gopayati. Bhagavan protects dharma whenever adharma overwhelms and overpowers dharma. And he also protects those who follow dharma. That's why we have this very beautiful line in the Gita. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I take an avatara yuga after yuga for establishing dharma. And how dharma is established? Dharma is established by protecting those who follow dharma, by protecting the dharmis, and also by destroying those who take to extreme adharma. What is extreme adharma? Extreme adharma is that those people not only do not do their dharma and they do adharma, but they do not allow others also to follow their dharma. That is extreme adharma. And Bhagavan protects dharma. This is the avatara karma of the Bhagavan. The avatars, all the avatars of Bhagavan, if we see the Puranas and everything, especially Bhagavata Purana, all avatars are meant for only protection of dharma. So this is during the avatara time he protects dharma. What about protection of dharma at other times? For that he has designed the laws of karma. So through the laws of karma he protects dharma. By just being a human being, we are given the knowledge of dharma. And when dharma is followed, there is an immediate result in the form of a satisfaction, which is conflict-free, and everyone wants it. This is the drishtaphala, which is immediate. If dharma is not followed, then there is a feeling of guilt of omission and commission. This is also a drishtaphala. So Bhagavan, in the form of order of dharma, gives rise to the feeling of guilt, which may help as a deterrent from adharma, and thereby he makes one do dharma, and thereby he protects dharma. Because if you look at the path of our life, the path of dharma alone is the straight, short, and clean path. It is only when the pressure of desire is great, it is overwhelming, that one tends to go against dharma. In spite of the drishtaphala of guilt and remorse, if a person takes to adharma, the adrishtaphala of punya and the resulting sukha become an incentive for that person to follow dharma. And the adrishtaphala of papa and the resulting dukkha become a deterrent for adharma. So both positively and also negatively, that person can be induced to follow dharma. Thus, Bhagavan is Dharmagup, the protector of dharma, through avatars and also through the laws of karma at other times. Dharmakrit, the one who follows dharma. Dharma dharma vihinopi dharma maryadat astapanartham dharmameva karoti iti dharmakrit. So the one who is protecting dharma, he should know what is dharma. He himself should be following dharma. Then only one can claim that he is a protector of dharma. And not only that, he has to be the author of the dharma also. So Bhagavan alone is Dharmakrit, the author of dharma. Because the rules of dharma and adharma apply only to those who have the sense of doership. They do not apply to Bhagavan, and therefore his actions cannot be judged as keeping with dharma or going against dharma. Still, in his avatars, when he appears as a human being in the form of Rama, Krishna, etc., or Vamana, etc., dharmam karoti, he follows dharma. And dharman karayati, makes people follow dharma. And hence he is dharmakrit. Otherwise, Swarupataya, he is akarta. The person who is cannot do any action, where is the question of dharma, adharma for that entity? And in the Gita also, he emphasizes, Bhagavan Krishna emphasizes, he says, I have nothing to achieve in all these three worlds. Still I do my dharma because I have to set an example. If I set a wrong example, I would be destroying the people. Therefore, he takes these avatars and follows dharma in those avatars to set an example to people what is the right dharmic way of living. And that is why we read all these itihasas, Puranas and all that and learn the lessons from there. In fact, these are all gems. The itihasas, Puranas, scriptures are gems. They are not meant only for entertainment as it has become today, unfortunately. Today, any value that we see in these Puranas and all, we just, oh, that happened at that time. Today, it will not be applicable. That is the justification we give. And maximum, we will go enjoy somebody's giving some Vyakhyanam or some Katha Kalakshepam. And then we will come away and continue to do what we want to do. We would not have learned a single lesson, a single value from the entire Katha Kalakshepam. That is the tragedy of this Kali Yuga. So he is Dharmakrit. Then Dharmi, the supporter of Dharma. So Ishvara is not only a Dharmagup and a Dharmagrit, but he is also a Dharmi because all dharmas belong to him. All dharmas are from him and are supported by him. One cannot think of dharma without thinking of Ishvara. It is just like thinking of the quality of a person without thinking of the person. So one has to think of a dharmi when one thinks of dharma rather. So what happens? When that happens, the dharma and dharmi become one and the same. There is no difference between dharma and dharmi. So as nimitta karana, he is the dharmakrit and dharmagu, and as upadana karana, he is manifest in the form of dharma. Therefore, he is dharmi, and all dharmas belong to him. The next nama is Sat, the one who is existent in all three periods of time. Avitatam Parabrahma Sat. The next nama is Asat, the one who is in the form of creation. Aparam Brahma Asat. So we will take both the Sat and Asat together and see the explanation. As we all know, Sat generally means that which is existent. Satchidananda, when we say Sat is what? Pure existence. So Sat means existent. But when we analyze the things that exist, we find that their existence seems to be time-bound and also seems to belong really to something else. We have seen the example of pot and clay. The pot was not existent before it was made and also ceases to exist when it is broken. and therefore has got a time-bound existence. Even when it exists, its existence belongs to clay. Its existence depends upon the clay. For example, if a pot is made and kept outside, and then there is a heavy downpour, rain comes, and the whole pot goes away, means what? The clay gets, completely, what I call, destroyed, or not destroyed, it becomes, mixes with water and goes away. The pot also goes away along with the clay. Pot cannot say, I am independent of clay, the rain is affecting only the clay, it is not affecting me. Pot cannot say that. Therefore, really speaking, the pot cannot be called Sat, and only clay, which is its cause, can be called Sat or existent. But if we analyze the clay also, we find that even the clay has got a time-bound existence. And it depends for its existence on something else. That is its cause. So what can really be called Sat should always be existent without being subject to time, and its existence should be independent of anything else. That is why Trikale api tishtati, where that which is existent in all three periods of time. Avitatam Brahma, Avitatam Param Brahma, says Adi Shankara. Therefore, which is that which exists in all periods of time? Param Brahma, the ultimate cause of everything, including time, that alone is Sat, that alone is always existent, and it is not dependent on anything else for its existence. That is the meaning of Sat. So Bhagavan is Sat. But immediately he says that Bhagavan is Asat also. What does that mean? So we have seen that pot cannot be called Sat. But pot cannot be said to be totally Asat also, non-existent, because it is available for perception and it is available for use. There is a utility for the pot. We can store water in that pot or cook some meals and all that. So it is not Sat because its existence is time-bound. That is borrowed from clay. And it is not Asat also because perceptually it is existing. Therefore, what cannot be categorically classified as Sat or Asat is called Mithya. Sat Asadbhyam Anirvachaniyam is Mithya. So what that which lends existence to Mithya is called Satya, the truth of fate. So if we analyze the whole Jagat, we will find the whole Jagat to be Mithya and solely depending for its existence on Brahman, that is for its Satta. Therefore, Param Brahma is Sat, the Satya, the unnegatable truth of this world. So since the Jagat is not Sat, it is referred to as Asat in the meaning of Mithya. Asat does not mean non-existent. Asat means, or Mithya means dependent existence in this context. It is not total non-existence. So the world is but the manifestation of Brahman. From his own standpoint, the Lord as Brahman is called Param Brahma, Sat. And as the manifested world, he is called Aparam Brahma or Asat. Chandogya Upanishad says, Sadeva Saumya Idamagre Asid Ekameva Advitiyam. In the beginning of the world was nothing but one Satvastu alone. That is Brahman. And Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam. Talking about this entire Jagat, all this is nothing but name and form centered on the vak, speech. Vacharambanam. Name and form. That is what is this entire Jagat. So Bhagavan is both Sat and Asat also. Sadasat. Then Ksharam. The one who is present in all that is perishable. Ksharam Sarvani Bhutani. Next nama is Aksharam. The one who is changeless. Kutastaha Aksharam. Again, we will see the explanation of both these two namas together. The world which is manifest in the form of various things and beings is the Karya, the product, and that is Kshara, time bound. In its Karana or causal or unmanifest state, being timeless and relatively changeless, it is called Akshara. Kuta means Maya. Vanchana means deceit. So in the Karana state, it looks as though it is gone. But having been only in an unmanifest state, it comes back again. So it is called Kutastaha. Kuta Rupena Tishtati iti Kutastaha. Maya is the causal state, is the Karana or Akshara Upadhi for Brahman. And in the manifest state as the effect is the Karya or Kshara Upadhi for Brahman. So Brahman also, when we say Maya Upadhi, Mayopadikam Sopadika Brahman, we have to understand that the Maya also has got both these Upadhis, Kshara Upadhi and Akshara Upadhi. Akshara Upadhi is the seed form, the potential form, and the Kshara Upadhi is the manifest form. And both these Upadhis are Upadhis for Brahman. And as the Upadhi cannot exist separate from Brahman, the Lord from the standpoint of the two Upadhis is called Kshara. From the causal Upadhi point of view, and Kshara from the manifested Upadhi point of view, and Akshara from the causal Upadhi point of view. That is Kshara Kshara. Then Avignata. Avignata. The one who is not the knower, but the truth of the knower. Very beautifully says Puja Swamiji. Sometimes what he says is his writings are a little bit, one has to think a little bit deep into understand what exactly he is saying. The one who is not the knower, but he is the truth of the knower. Atmani kartritvam kalpitam iti tad vasanava guntito jivaha vignata tad vilakshanaha Vishnu avignata. Now, Adi Shankara also is no less. But I should say Puja Swamiji is no less than Adi Shankara. So the Jiva is a Vijnata because he considers himself to be the knower. I know so many things. I know this, I know there is nothing. Many people say that I don't need an encyclopedia any longer because my wife knows everything. And the Jiva considers himself to be a knower, a Vijnata, because of the Kartritva, the sense of doership that is superimposed on the Atma due to ignorance. So from this standpoint, if you look at Bhagavan, Bhagavan becomes Avignata, not the knower, because he has no Kartritva. So Jiva is Vijnata, Bhagavan is Avignata, but being Avignata, he is the truth of the knower. He has no self-ignorance and therefore knows that while the Vijnata, the knower, cannot exist without him, he is not himself a Vijnata, but he is a Vijnana Ghana, the consciousness, which is the essential nature of the knower. And this is the Swarupa of Bhagavan. So we have to understand this Avignata calling into our memory all learnings that we have learned as what is the Swarupa of Bhagavan. So many aspects involved in this Avignata. Next is Sahasramshuhu. Amshuhu means race. So Sahasramshuhu means the one who has 1,000 rays. Aditya gata amshavaha asyeti ayameva mukhyaha sahasramshuhu. The luminaries that we see in the sky, especially the sun, it can be called Sahasramshu, as they are radiant with thousands of rays. But they are all his manifestations only, and so Bhagavan alone is the real Sahasramshu, the 1,000-rayed sun and other luminaries. Taittiriya Upanishad said, Yena Suryastapati Tejasa Iddaha. Lighted by whose tejas the sun shines. Gita says, Yadaditya gatam tejaha jagadbhasayate kilam yachandramasi yachagnav tattejo vidhi mamakam. That light in the sun which illumines the world, entire world, and the light in the moon, the fire, all of them are my light alone. Tat tejaha vidhi, may you know, mamakam, it is mine alone, says Lord Krishna. All Swarupa talks about Swarupa. Even our thoughts that illumines things can also be called rays. So Bhagavan in the form of consciousness is manifest in the form of the 1,000 rays of thoughts, and hence also we can call Bhagavan Sahasramshu. The next nama is Vidhata. Vidhata means the one who sustains everything. Visheshena dadhati iti vidhata. We have seen this again and again, the same theme. Well, whenever we say that something exists, how do we use that phrase? We use because they are known to us. We know, so it exists. Therefore, everything which exists is sustained by knowledge. And in every form of knowledge, there are three things involved: Jnata, Jnaya, and Jnana. Jnata means the knower, Jnaya means the known, and Jnana means the knowledge. And all these things, knowledge, of course, in the form of the thought, right? So as Chaitanya, as the Chit Swarupa, the consciousness, Bhagavan sustains all these three. Therefore, he is Vidhata. Then the next nama is Krita Lakshanaha. Krita Lakshanaha, there are three meanings. One meaning is the one who has a clear definition. Second meaning is the one who has made clear definitions. And the third meaning is the one who has a clear mark, birthmark kind of a thing. And Adi Shankara gives all this in a very elaborate bhashya. Nitya Nishpanna Chaitanya Sarupatvat Krita Lakshanaha. Sajatiya Vijatiya Vyavachedakam Lakshanam Sarva Bhavanam Kritam Anena Iti Va. Kritani Lakshanani Shastrani Anena Iti Va. Atmanaha Srivatsa Lakshanam Bhakshati Kritamiti Va Krita Lakshanaha. This is the elaborate definition of Krita Lakshana, or the explanation of Krita Lakshana Adi Shankara gives. The Lakshana means what? We have to understand what is a Lakshana. Lakshana is, we can, it's a sort of a mark or a definition that helps one to identify or understand any object very carefully. So every object has got its Lakshana. For example, what is the difference between the mug and the tumbler? The Lakshana of a mug is it has got a holder in the side. Tumbler doesn't have it. So there is a Lakshana for everything. And the Lord is the one whose Lakshana is Kritam Eva, already done, because he is ever available as the consciousness without which one cannot set out to identify or define anything. So what is the Lakshana of everything? It is the Lord Bhagavan. So he is Krita Lakshana. Then the clear definition by which one understands Bhagavan is already Kritameva. It is already well done. Where it is well done? It is already done and given in the Vedanta Shastras. The Swarupa Lakshana of Bhagavan is given as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And the Tatastha Lakshana as Yatova Imani Bhutani Jayante Yena Jatani Jivanti Yat Prayanti Abhisamvishanti Taittreya Upanishad. So both from the point of view of Swarupa and from the point of view of the manifestation, all this is already done, that he is Krita Lakshana, very well done and described in the Shastras. Therefore, he is Krita Lakshana. And in the world also, we are able to understand and identify the things because they have all been created by Ishvara with clear demarcating features, distinguishing one from the other of the same class, Sajati, as well as different class, Vijati. Same class, human beings you take. Every human being is different. The iris is different for every human being. The fingerprints are different for every human being. No two human beings are the same. Sajatiya Bheda. Vijatiya Bheda. Of course, that's very easier to understand. A human being is not an animal, animal is not a human being. So different jatis, human beings, animals, plants, etc. Vijatiya Bheda, clearly identification. When we see a human being, we know it is a human being. When we see a rat, we know it is a rat. Or a cat, or a tiger. Why? Because Bhagavan has actually created this entire world with all these very clear demarcating features, so that one can be distinguished from another. either within the same class or from a different class. And when we are talking about Lakshana, Veda also can be called Lakshana because all the means and ends, Lakshyate Anena, are pointed out in the Veda. And we cannot know about them by any other means. What are the Purusharthas? What are the means of achieving those Purusharthas? All these are all described in the Vedas only. That is the Lakshana. So Lakshanam Veda Shastram Kritam Yena. And the Veda Shastra is revealed by him alone, and therefore the Lord is called Krita Lakshana from that angle also. It will be said later that the Vedas and the Shastras are from Janardana, and that is from Lord Vishnu alone. That will come later. So we can take that meaning here. It has been given by Lord Vishnu alone. So for visualizing Lord Vishnu, certain lakshanas are given here, and one of them is that he has got a mole called Srivatsa on his chest. And this lakshana of Bhagavan is for purpose of meditation, for purpose of to visualize Bhagavan during meditation. This Srivatsa lakshana is given. So that is why also he is called Krita Lakshana. So that completes that sloka. We'll go to the next sloka. Gabhastine sattvastaha simho bhuta maheshwaraha Adidevo Mahadevo Devesho Deva Bhrit. In this sloka, there are only 8 namas. Gabasti Nemihi, Satvastaha, Simhaha, Bhutamaheshwaraha, Adidevaha, Mahadevaha, Deveshaha, Deva Bhrit Guruhu. 8 namas. Gabasti Nemihi, the one who is in the center of the solar system. Gabasti Chakrasya Madhye, Suryatmana Stita iti Gabasti Nemihi. Gabasti means an aura of rays. Nemi is the axle, which is in the middle or the center, like the axle of a wheel, you know. So in the solar system, the one who is in the middle in the form of the sun is Gabasti Nemi. And what is sun? Nothing but the Rupa, Nama Rupa of Bhagavan. So it is Bhagavan who remains as the sun in the center of the wheel of all luminaries, which is obtaining in our solar system. Sattvastaha, the one who obtains with the Sattva Upadhi. Another meaning also is there, the one who obtains in all beings. Sattvam Gunam Prakashakam Pradhanyena Adhitishtati iti Sarva Pranishu Tishtati iti va Sattvastaha. Both the meanings Adi Shankara gives. So the word Sattva can be taken to mean a guna of a living being. The Lord is Sattvasta because his Maya Upadhi consists predominantly of Sattva Guna, especially in the act, in the protecting aspect. And Sattva Guna represents knowledge. That is why the Lord has got no ignorance. Sattveshu sarva pranishu tishtati. And Sat, what is Sat? Sat is the pure existence. And Bhagavan obtains in all beings as the Pratyagatma, as the pure existence, and hence he is Sattvastha. Earlier we saw Ghabasti Nemi is the one who obtains in the form of sun, and that which exists as Pratyagatma in the individual is Sattvastha. Again, Taittiriya Upanishad says, Sa yaschayam purushe yascha sau aditye sa ekah. Sa yascha ayam purushe, the one who is in this physical body. Yascha asau aditye, which is nothing but the essence of food, and the one who is Aditya, the sun. That is the total. Sa ekah. They are one and the same. Because the body is made of 5 elements and the Jagat also consists of 5 elements. Ishvara manifests in the total. The Virat Abhimani Atma is Ishvara. And the total includes this individual physical body, the Jiva also, isn't it? In the total, the individual is also included. So even though this Anna Rasamaya body is included in the total, still there is an individual Jiva. The self that obtains in every living organism as the Pratyagatma, the conscious being, is Sattvastha. That which exists in the total is Ishvara. Both of them are Parameshwara alone. So who is Sattvastha is also Ghabasti Nemihi. That means Sa Ekah, there is no difference between the two. This is the meaning of, this is how we have to understand this Nama Sattvastha. Then Simha, the one who is like a lion. And also here, Adi Shankara makes a reference to Narsimha Avataram also. Narsimha Avatar. Okay. Vikrama Shalitvat Simhavat Simha Nrishabda Lopena Nrisimha Eva Simha. Nrishabda Lopena. If you remove Nri from Nrisimha, it becomes Simha. So because of his valor like the lion, the Lord is Simha. Just as the lion is told to be said to be the king of the forest, Ishvara is the Lord of all. Or the second meaning, Simha stands as the shortened form of Nrsimha, indicating his avatara. Then Bhuta Maheshwaraha, the great Lord of beings and the truth of all. Bhutanam Mahanishwaraha, that is the great Lord of all beings. Bhutena Satyena Saeva Paramatma Mahan Ishwaraha Iti Va Bhuta Maheshwaraha. That's the second meaning, the truth of all. Any particular deity can be called Bhuteshwara, the Lord of beings, or Bhutaganas. But he is the ultimate Lord of beings, of all beings, hence he is Bhuta Maheshwara. So here we have to understand the difference between Ishvara and Maheshwara. Generally, the word Ishvara, Maheshwara are often used to denote Lord Shiva, but here it stands for that one Parameshwara, which is the all-pervading Brahman. So he is Bhuta. The word Bhuta has also got another meaning called Satya. That's why Adi Shankara brings out, from where he has got so much knowledge, what all meanings a word can appear, he brings out that meaning and he then interprets the word in accordance with that meaning. Generally, we say Bhuta means all beings, Panchabhutas and all. But there is a meaning for Bhuta as Satya also. So he adds that meaning. Bhuta means Satya, the truth of all beings, and for this reason also he is Mahan Ishvara, the ultimate Lord. And ultimate Lord means what? He is Adi Deva. Does not mean that he is the one who is, appeared first. Here Adi Deva, Adi Shankara interprets it very beautifully. The Lord who takes back all. Sarva Bhutani Adhiyante Anena iti Adihi. Adischa Asau Devascha iti Adi Deva. Adiyante Anena. Because all the beings and elements are all withdrawn by him, he is Adi Deva. Everything goes back into all karyam, goes back into the karana. They merge, they liyante, viliyante in the karana. So that is Adi Deva. Also, because Adiyante Asmin, all beings and elements exist in him, they are placed in him. Araha iva nabhav, like the spokes in the hub of a wheel. So he is Adi Deva. All these are from Mundaka Upanishad. Explanation taken from Mundaka Upanishad. So all the beings in the entire Jagat, they have their being in him, strung in him, strung in him and taken back unto him. Then follow Mahadeva, the one who is a great deity, the one who revels in himself. Mahamscha asau devaha chaitanya rupena vidyate iti Mahadevaha sarvan bhavan parityajya atmajnana sarvan bhavan parityajya atmajnanayo yogaihi yogeishwarye mahati mahiyate tasmat uchyate bhagavan mahadevahe iti shrutehe. Is quoting from Vedas. So Deva, Adi Deva we saw is a Mahadeva. Deva means effulgent being, bright, div dhatu. So Bhagavan is Mahadeva, the great Deva, because he is Chaitanya Swarupa, Chaitanya Rupa, the very consciousness, effulgence, which makes anyone or everything in this world effulgent. This is taken from Atharva Sirsha Upanishad. Sarvan bhavan parityajya atmajnana yogeshwarye mahati mahiyate tasmad uchyate bhagavan mahadevahe iti. He has taken this Mahadeva definition from Atharva Sirsha Upanishad. So giving up everything, he revels in his great glory, that is Atmajnana, self-knowledge, hence he is Mahadeva. But Bhagavan need not give up anything. So as one who does not require anything other than he himself to be happy, he is Mahan, he is also Deva. So he is Mahadeva. Or we can also take it as to mean the Lord who is worshipped by Atmajnana, the recognition that I am he by the yogis, giving up everything else, he is Mahadeva. Atmani eva atmanat tushtati. That is the definition of a Mahatma. So he revels, the Mahatmas, they revel in their own being. They don't need anything else to be happy. So he is Adi Deva. Okay, good. So we will stop here, continue in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very much.
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Om. Om. Yes, Hariji. Unmute yourself.
Carry on, Guru.
Om.
So in today's class, most of the terms were bouncers for me.
Is it?
It was, yeah, it was going.
Listen to the recording once again.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the things were
Why
going.
Mahadeva was a mostly, so some of them you could make up. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Some like Drishtabala, Adrishtabala, and Sat, Asat, all these things. Probably I won't be able to ask questions now because I still have not
You
understood.
go through the video once again slowly, pause,
Yeah.
go through. Then if there are doubts, you ask me in the next class, no problem.
Yeah. Is it possible that you can repeat one more class? Because I don't know how others feel.
By doing, yeah, exactly. For if everybody has got a doubt, I got the same problem, then there may be making, there may be use of repeating it. But if I
Yeah.
go on repeating the same class, this will never end.
No. I mean only this.
Just
I
reach
mean,
the half, about 485 or 490 namas we have reached.
yeah.
1000
We-
namas, and then we have to do
we-
Farashti also.
We have reached 491.
Yeah, something around 490 must be.
491. Yeah.
Next class we will be touching 500. So that is
I
what
don't know how others.
I can clarify.
Yeah, but today I only know that I have not
The
understood.
whole class to be repeated, the whole thing to be repeated.
I don't know. I how others feel about it.
Both.
Akka, how do you feel? Was it?
It was a tough one.
Yeah.
It was not easy. We have to reflect on it, and we also have to go through it again and again and again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's not understood
I'm
through
going
the
to say the same
intellect.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not understood through the intellect. It's
Yeah.
through many means, through intuition, through past learning. All kinds of impressions are there. And Sanskrit knowledge is also necessary to split it, to make sense of what is being said. No, it's hard work. It's a lifetime journey.
I think we should do Mananam.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
First of
Yeah.
all, very good
Yeah.
Shravanam.
Yeah.
Repeat is the Mananam.
Shravanam is
Through repeat is
there.
Shravanam.
Again and again, once
Yeah.
listening and all, it will not help.
Anushravanam.
Shravanam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will repeat it, re-repeat it, and
All these things are, the process is like this. There is Puja Swamiji's book, correct?
I have it. I have got it.
So you read, you won't understand anything.
Yeah, that is what I was trying.
So somebody
Yeah.
explains that, correct?
Yeah.
So some degree of understanding comes.
Yeah.
So then what you have to do, taking that explanation, you have to go on, thinking about it. Oh, okay, this was told because everything cannot be repeated in every class. When I say all,
No.
correct?
No, only today it was going.
Yeah.
Was bouncer.
In one of these namas, that we have learned till now has to be brought in, and then only we can understand that nama. We have talked
Guruji,
so many things in the previous 490 namas, right? So many other aspects relating to Brahman, Maya, everything has been talked about. We have to bring all that in to understand each nama.
no, the interesting part was I thought, okay, one is going above my head. I said, next one will be okay. Then that one was going.
Dhoni playing cricket, one sixer, second sixer.
Yeah, it was going. Today it was a series of sixers,
Hari, it was not only you. There were a lot of people just like you. So don't feel that you missed
No, I
anything.
thought,
Just keep working.
No, I will.
Yes, we'll keep working.
Yeah.
It'll
Guruji,
happen one day.
Guruji, I have one general question. Where the word Sanskrit, no?
See, Sanskritam, without some good knowledge of
No,
Sanskrit,
no, no, no. The meaning of Sanskrit.
meaning of
Sanskrit.
Sa-
Sanskrit.
Samyak Kritam Sanskritam. That which is been done very well is Sanskritam. A language which has been developed very well
Yeah.
from all its aspects is called Sanskritam. There is no other language which is developed as Sanskritam. That is why it is called Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
Yes. Samyak Kritam Sanskritam.
Samyakrit.
Okay. No, I was listening to Swami Paramatmananda's chapter 15, you know. So it was coming that Krit and Sanskrit.
Krit means to do. Kridatu.
Okay.
That is it. Anyhow, any other question or any other?
Guruji, you had mentioned in one of the Sanskrit classes that you're going to restart maybe in 6 months for people who have missed out or have questions, or restart it again because we've gone too fast. So
No,
how do I?
What I started off the Sanskrit classes, I started right from the basics and I have now reached the advanced level.
Right.
But what I did not realize is that during the time when there was COVID and people were having a lot of time sitting at home doing nothing, everybody was doing their homework and attending to what was being taught and learning it very well. Once the COVID and all this thing has been lifted, people have got busy with their own kind of other works and all, and learning Sanskrit has become one of the side businesses of theirs. The advanced topics which are teaching, nobody is understanding anything what is being taught, nor are they able to recall what they have learned earlier also. Because that is what is happened, when your mind is occupied in all laukika things, in all worldly things, all this knowledge gaining and all is not possible. We are wasting our time. As students, they waste their time. As a guru, I waste my time. So what I thought was that this is perhaps not the best way of teaching. So I will actually stop these classes in the next few, maybe another 5-6 classes I will take, because I'm now doing the Gita Pravesha text rather, and that too not the entire one. Few 8-9 lessons from that, the topics which I have already done in the Sanskrit. With that, I will stop this course. Then what I'm planning to do is then rework the entire course content and divide it into 3 or 4 different courses at different levels of degrees of difficulties rather. So that the person who is joining fresh, he or she can start with the basics, and that will be a smooth riding for some time. And at the end of it, maybe I will give them a test or something like that to see how much they have learned. And then take them for the second level course rather. If they have not learned much in the first level itself, they will not be admitted to the second level course. Same thing after the second level, third level. After the third level, fourth level. After you do the fourth level, then you go to Ashtadhyayi Sutras rather. If you start with Ashtadhyayi Sutras, not only it will go over our heads, it will go far above our heads rather. Nothing you can understand in Ashtadhyayi. So it's a process, and dedicated time. 1 hour of learning requires 3 to 4 hours of revision, relearning. Just if people think like college students, I will attend the class and somehow I will get pass mark. That won't work. We are all mature people. We have all grown up. That stage we have crossed. So if somebody wants to commit to learning, he has to be very sure that he is committing his time for actual learning, not just attending 1 hour lecture. Okay, I then tell everybody I am learning Sanskrit, I am learning Sanskrit. You ask them, what have you learned? Nothing you have learned. What you learned 3 months ago, if I ask you now, you can't recall anything. And that is what I am experiencing in most of my students. So I felt I am actually being very, I'm torturing them by, putting them into difficult kind of a thing. And I'm actually, I was feeling very guilty that I am making them feel, sort of some inferiority. Oh, we have not been able to do that. I consider myself responsible for that kind of a thing. So I thought that
No.
continue this torture, stop it now.
No,
But
Guruji, you did well. It's the speed at which we went. We couldn't keep up with you.
Correct.
And also because of COVID, etc. And our limited capacity to absorb. That was also there.
Yeah,
So can we people like me, who is in Trishanka Swarga right now in the Sanskrit thing, can I also come back and join you again?
Yeah, certainly. So that is why, the other aspect was that I was having 2 classes a week. I also felt that was too much. Because given all the circumstances, maybe 1 class a week is what I should have for any student who is in any level. So that is why, thinking about all this, I thought that I will spend my time in the US, 3 months or whatever time it is, 2 months or 2.5 months. And I will think about all these things, redesign the course, and make it into 3-4 different modules or courses, and which each course, maybe one course will last for 6 months, one course for 1 year. So I will have to do a lot of work on my own to do this rather.
Okay.
And then see what are all the textbooks or material that we can use for that purpose. Because Samskrita Bharati and all, I am seeing that the classes which they conduct, they don't come to grammar portion for years.
No, they want spoken.
Learning Sanskrit through Samskrita Bharati or whatever, I don't know, for last 3 years. I ask her any grammar question, she doesn't know. She knows the meaning of the words. She can also broadly say, okay, this is a noun, this is a verb, and these are how the nouns are formed and all. But what is the pratyaya there and all that? Totally lost. Nothing is known.
They are focusing on spoken Sanskrit only.
Yes, focusing on spoken Sanskrit. But with spoken Sanskrit, you take Bhagavad Gita, you will not be able to understand anything which is there unless you know what is the verb or noun, what is the pratyaya used, in what meaning the pratyaya is used. You will not know. And if you say, oh, there are books which give all these things, then why waste your time learning this? Read the books and understand matter over. Isn't it? Here you are learning. If you Bhagavad Gita books are there. Tomorrow there is you want to read Raghu Vamsham, Kalidasa. Who is going to translate Kalidasa to you? You will have to have equipped with that thing. That I know when I see a word, I know what is whether it's a noun or a verb or it is an adjective, then what is the pratyaya used, what is the meaning. Like that, you will have to see, oh, some of Bhagavad Gita and all is fine. So that is the purpose for learning, means it is fine. Otherwise, don't waste your time learning it. At this age, enjoy your life, go and see the world.
Not at our age.
So that is what I thought, that I must stop this torture of the poor students. I thought, let me think, redesign it, and come back again, maybe after 3 months.
It's kind of you to think of us.
Whenever. Yeah, ultimately, my interest is what? My interest is that
Teaching.
I try to make it as easy as possible for the students. And they should not be overly burdened, because none of my students are school students or college students. They are all senior citizens only. So I must be mindful of their commitments, other commitments, things like that. And just because
limited capacity also, Guruji.
Capacity also, I don't have that much capacity now to study and then tell you all. I should see my capacity also. So with all this, I'm thinking that I should do this. Let me see. I mean, again, Bhagavan, how he drives this whole thing, I will have to wait and see. That is the thing. Yes, Sulekha-ji, you have raised your hand.
Hari Om, Guruji. Just on the process of Sanskritam classes, I am interested, and so I will wait for your further information on that. My question is also regarding Sanskritam, in that learning the language, and from what I'm understanding from your talks and from your classes, is that there is the grammar and there are the words, but there is some essence behind that that requires a context or a broader understanding. And so my question really is, as a very beginner, less than a beginner student, would these classes follow along first with the grammar, but then also provide the context or the understanding? Because from one context, certain words are given a certain meaning, and then from another context or maybe a broader understanding, the same words or slokas have a deeper meaning or a deeper essence. So what I'm also saying is I want to be a good student. As a good teacher, we should also have good students who are there from where we can understand and not be a burden to the teacher or to the teachings.
Yeah. See, this thing is, it's not a burden for me, because teaching I find it's easier than learning that, right? But the thing is that, see, in general, Sanskrit language, you must understand, is a sort of a, what I call, plug-in language. Unlike any other language. For example, in English, I can give you an example. The word ER, ending ER is there, right? That means a person who does it. A worker means a person who works. A seer means the one who sees. Right? A bowler means the one who bowls. So the word, the suffix ER, if you add to a verb, that represents a person who does that particular, right? Now, in English language, there are not too many such suffixes you will find to understand every word. Only in some cases, you can, for the example I gave you, if you see, they say batter, if they say, right? You can understand, oh, batter means the person who is batting. So batter also has a meaning like, the dosa batter, idli batter and all that, right? But generally, if the ER ending is there, we can say that it is the person who does it. In Sanskrit, every word you can derive and understand like that. If you know what is the original word, that verb which is used, and what is the suffix which is used, if you know the meanings of that, then what you have got 10 verbs here and 10 suffixes, you can intermix and make your own words. So what is important in understanding Sanskrit is you must understand the meanings of all these words and the meanings of in what meanings the suffixes will come. So if you take the word, let us say work, worker, if you add a suffix, means a person who works. So you remove the suffix ER, put some other suffix, it will change the meaning of that related to work. So Sanskrit, you plug in and plug up, plug out, means you put one suffix, it takes one meaning, remove it and put another suffix, it will take another meaning. That is the beauty of this language, rather. And the entire language is like that. Once you understand this, and also the grammar rules which you have to follow, like for example, Sandhi rules are there. When two sounds come together, in some cases it turns into a third kind of a sound. So that also you must understand how this, the change of the sound takes place. All this needs to be learned at the fundamental level. Then only you can say I have learned Sanskrit. By just speaking some Sanskrit words or some, seeing some, reading some books and all that, seeing some translations, it will not help, rather. You won't know Sanskrit at all. So that is what, when I start the course, I will make the announcements. Now, I need to do a lot of thinking. I need to do a lot of research. In fact, Lata Vijayan, he is not in the class. She is actually studying Sanskrit from somewhere. She has done some levels she has crossed. So I requested her, whatever you are learning, please send me the course material. You know, what is the syllabus of their this thing. So I am also not going to invent on anything on my own. So I will also see here and there how people are teaching, and then I will try to make something which will be helpful for the students who will be joining those courses. And I will
Guruji,
have
may I say something?
one class per week. Sorry.
May I say something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Silky, you're already one step ahead of the game because you understand the language, at least one language or two languages in the Indian set of languages. So part of it is intuition, part of it is figuring out where everything goes. So you're okay, unlike, you know, other people who don't speak any Indian language and who don't have the same background as you. You already have heard it a lot. So a lot of that will kick in when you need it. You're on the right track. Continue.
Thank
See,
you. And thank you.
in India, especially in South India, except for people who speak Tamil, Sanskrit is not a different language for whose mother tongue is Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Kannada, or Telugu. Because these three languages have their base in Sanskrit. Tamil is a totally different setup altogether. A Tamilian will not be able to understand Sanskrit, whereas a person who is Malayali or from Kerala or from Andhra Pradesh or from Karnataka, they themselves will be using a lot of words in their daily, conversations rather, which are all Sanskrit based. Of course, in Tamil also many words have now come from Sanskrit rather. Many names are in Sanskrit. The name Karunanidhi is a Sanskrit word. Even though they don't want to anything to do, DMK doesn't want to do anything to do with Sanskrit and North Indian. The Udayanidhi is a Sanskrit name. Their names are all, they are happy with the Sanskrit names, but they don't want to do anything with Devanagari or Hindi or Sanskrit. That is politics for them, so that's a different thing. But what I'm saying is, this is the difficulty for people whose mother tongue is Tamil, who has never read any other Hindi or any other language. But Marathis, Gujaratis, for them, Bengalis, Sanskrit is not a problem. Because all the other languages have got their basis in Sanskrit. Marathi especially.
So I'm from
very close to Sanskrit.
So I'm from the first category in that Tamil is my mother tongue,
Oh.
but I'm a sincere student. I'm a sincere student, and whatever is required for learning, I will learn. And I'm fortunate I have the time, and more than the time, I have the commitment. So even though, and when I say Tamil is my mother tongue, that mother tongue is also disappeared quite a bit. So I'm a super beginner in the sense of the commitment is there, but the understanding and the knowledge of the language is yet to come. But I will dedicate the time and energy, and whenever you're ready, I would like to put my name forward.
I didn't mean to discourage Tamil speaking people, but Puja Swamiji.
No.
My mother tongue is Tamil.
That's okay. That I don't take it as such, Guruji, because I grew up in this country.
What I'm saying is, degree of difficulty is relatively, it is there like that. That's all.
Yes. And anything worth learning also has that point where there is difficulty and you overcome it, or the obstacles, you overcome it. So as a student and as the Guruji, as a teacher, you will have students at varying levels. And even though my level may be very low in knowledge, the commitment is very high in wanting to learn.
With commitment only you raise your level, actually.
Guruji,
Thank you,
as her,
Guruji.
Because
Guruji,
without
as her
commitment, you cannot raise
ex-teacher,
anything rather. So that is the thing. Don't worry. We'll do that. Let me see. Let me work on it, and I'll make the announcement when I am ready.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
share.
Guruji,
absolutely.
as her ex-teacher, she's just being very humble. She's very capable, hardworking,
I know
and
her. I know her.
extreme tenacity in her.
Yeah.
She's a good student, and she's extremely good in whatever she does.
In fact, if I happen to be, I will be coming to Canada. I'll be coming to Toronto.
Yes,
Please.
during
I'm
the
looking
Guruji.
forward to it.
time. Of course, I will certainly look
Yeah.
forward to meeting you. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you, Guruji. I
absolutely.
wanted to extend that invitation when it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
appropriate time. You
My-
have said
my-
it already,
I don't
so.
know when I will travel to Toronto because that is not fixed. But when I'll be in the US, depending upon my son's convenience, everything I will have to check. But I at least plan to spend 2 weeks there at the minimum in Toronto. So let me see how.
Thank
that
you,
goes.
Guruji.
Hari Om.
Whatever the plan is, we're waiting and ready.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Guruji.
we will know about.
Guruji,
Whenever Guruji comes, Sulekha, you move in with me.
Sorry.
Okay? I said, whenever Guruji comes, Sulekha, you move in with me. She'll also come.
Yeah.
Guruji, so that anybody who has got even absolutely big zero knowledge in the Sanskrit can also join?
Yeah. Zero knowledge
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Sanskrit.
No,
I
not
will
zero.
start-
Mine is big zero.
No.
Oh, zero.
I
Okay.
will start from alphabets. How to write the alphabets. That's what we started this course also. From the
Yeah.
beginning, how to write the alphabets and even sort of the stroke. How to put that stroke and write. But what is the important is I will teach in 1 hour, but you will have to go and practice it for you to
Yeah.
gain
Yeah.
that knowledge. That
Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
I
Hari
have
Om.
to leave.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
We'll see you next
Hari
time.
Om, Hari
Thank
Om.
you. Hari Om.